Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome. Welcome to the market close. And what a fantastic day on the market. No, I'm kidding. It's a red day. It's pretty nasty on that market. Lots of dips to buy. I haven't seen anything look this rough since looking at potholes in Nova Scotia. So, why do I keep bringing potholes up in Nova Scotia? I don't know. But nonetheless, guys, pretty red day on the market. Let's just jump immediately in, and we'll try. There we go. Yeah. So we are actually the last candle is a nice green one. So hopefully it means that we are recovering. Today, not a great day. Obviously, there has been an escalation in the war, and that's really a big part of this driver. So Iran has been hitting oil infrastructure around the Gulf. One of the areas that Iran hit, well, gosh, Qatar. They actually hit a liquefied natural gas plant in Qatar, and this is not good because it's basically halting a whole bunch of liquefied natural gas. Obviously, the UAE, apparently they're saying that their output's been about halved. So a lot of this is really looking, it's looking like an energy crisis coming. Even if we end this, it's not going to be fixed anytime soon. So we got a lot of interesting stuff coming our way, at least with this. Now, I will say, in all fairness, Donald Trump today did say, now mind you, he did say, first of all, he said he was going to attack and absolutely demolish some of Iran's oil sites. But he has backtracked on that. He has said don't hit any more. He's basically said don't hit any more oil sites. And he's told Israel that as well. He says, look, stop hitting the oil. We're creating a problem here. Although he also said he's looking at probably sending troops in. So we got a whole bunch of stuff going on with the war, a lot of escalation. Certainly has pushed the price of a lot of things down. But like I said, we do seem to have a little bit of, we're getting a little bit of recovery in the late afternoon. And this may be good for tomorrow. We may have a green day tomorrow, believe it or not. We may have a green day. But for now, we are currently down 1.33%, deep into the red, running out of time. It looks like I will not be wearing a green Santa hat on April 1st. That's too bad. I didn't pack it. I saved it for that. So, yeah, what can I say? This blue line, this is where we entered the month. So right now we are deep below the blue line, meaning anything below the blue line is a red month. Anything above the blue line, I'll show you what it looks like since we haven't been there yet. That's what it looks like up there. That's a green month. We started the month green. Look at this, a little bit, and then it's been, well, that was it. That was it. After that, it's been nothing but, it's all red for sure. All right, so this is the TSX. Pretty much everything is down today in Canada, except for energy. Energy is, energy is kind of benefiting from oil going crazy. All right, heading south of the border, the S&P 500. We can see the same story here. You can see the last couple of candles. We've got some recovery towards the later part of the day. And I think a lot of that has to do with Trump coming out and saying, okay, we're not going to be targeting. We're not going to be, hitting some of the big oil sites in Iran. So the world seems to like that a little bit better. So we got a little bit of green going. Believe it or not, the S&P 500 right now is only 0.16 down. So there's still a chance they could get back into the green before the end of the day. Looking at the NASDAQ, same story. NASDAQ right now is only down 0.03. So not too shabby at all, not too shabby. And I'm liking it. We got some pretty good green towards the end of the day. We're seeing some movement up. So definitely interesting. The Dow Jones is also, oh, look at this, guys. Wait, let's go back. As I was talking, the NASDAQ moved back into the green. Look at this, 0.06. This is fantastic. The Dow Jones, down 0.34. But same pattern, same pattern. So we're seeing if those industrial stocks can get some recovery. And the Russell is actually doing okay. The Russell up 0.87. Look at this. At one point, they were up here. They wicked up pretty darn high. So I am certainly liking that. Looking at commodities. So metals today, oh boy, yeah. And not a great day for metals. Not a great day for mining. Gold down 3.62. Silver down 4.36. Copper down 1.45, platinum down 2.74. But here's the big story. And you're looking, wait, how's that a big story? Look at WTI. It's at 93. It's down quite a bit. Well, the big story today was Brent. And right now, Brent's sitting at 106. But if we pull it up here, you can see when we had this morning and we had everything that was going on. At one point, Brent was up at 118. So things have calmed down. You can see, and that's why we're starting to get some green in the market, because we're getting oil is starting to come down a little bit. So, let's see if we can get oil down a little bit further. All right, and crypto also in the red today. Bitcoin down 1.5%, Ethereum down 2.88%. So not the best day, unless you're in oil. If you're in oil, you're probably saying this day's not so bad. Let's switch over here quickly to the heat maps. So you're going to see a lot of red, and you'll notice here with Canada, pretty much everything except for energy and pipelines. Well, some of the industrial. I don't want to say just pipelines, but the pipelines fit into the industrial. But you can see Canadian Natural Resources having a pretty good day, up 2.86. Imperial Oil's up. Look at Cenovus. They're up like 4.27. Holy banana bread. Torlamine is up. Suncor is up. And my two favorite pipelines, Enbridge up 1.23, and Pembina Pipelines up 1.60. So that's not too shabby. Not too shabby at all. Everything else pretty much down. The banks, they're all most of them are down anywhere from 0.5% to 1%. And looking over here, the railroads both having a rough day. Today, CNR is actually down a little bit less than CP. So CNR wins today, but nonetheless. Now, there is at least one little interesting little thing down here, Celestica. Celestica is actually having a pretty good day, up 3.24%. All right, switching over to the United States. Not as red, and they're closer to being flat than what we were. So as you can see, technology, a little bit of red in technology for the most part. You got NVIDIA down 0.5%, Apple down 0.5%, Google's down a little bit, Microsoft almost 1%, Meta 1.65%, Tesla 2.80%, Broadcom though 1.13% to the upside. So definitely liking it. And our Eli Lilly Johnson & Johnson wedge here is doing okay today. They're both in the positive. So we will certainly give them that. All right, heading over to crypto. It's a red day, so we're going to pick a green crap coin today to make fun of. Oh boy. Let's see here. Let's not go super deep. Let's just go, you know what? Let's grab this one here. Whatever this is, I don't know. And here, I gotta move me to the middle. We're in the Simverse. Ooh. So is this the place where the Sims go after they die? I don't know. This is the Simverse. I don't know what it does. It's, maybe just the name makes me think it's probably something like, do you remember that thing Second Life that they used to have, that game where you could have a second you? Maybe it's something like that, or maybe it's, I don't know, maybe it's a place where people go and they all sympathize with each other. No idea. But nonetheless, guys, there's a lot of these coins out here like this. You got to be really careful with them. I do call them crap coins for a reason. It's because they are like going to the craps table. You're throwing your dice, and you're probably losing. The house tends to win. If you want to make money on crypto, this is probably not the way to go. If you're going to try, though, at least read the white paper, check out the developers, find out what's going on, find people who have invested in it, see if it makes sense for them, and more importantly, if it makes sense for you. But if you want to make money in crypto, stick to your larger coins. Stick to your, whoa, I'm going the wrong direction. Stick to your Bitcoin, your Ethereum, your XRP, your Solana, your Cardano, and gosh darn it, even the Dogecoin. All right. Oh, I forgot to put myself back on the TSX. I'm just doing that there while it's off the screen. All right. Let's get into the chat. And we got a couple business pieces to take care of right away. First of all, Wahipple, all the way back at 3 o'clock, gifted a Mountain Finance membership. Thank you, Wahipple. That, of course, is that's Goat Squad. That's Goat Squad material. Here's our our evil Monopoly goat in the house. And we do have the Financial Express on, so if we have 4 of these throughout the show, or gifted subs or supers, that will add a show on for tomorrow. So that's one of them on the way there, but we're not there yet. We also have a super chat from John coming in. Do you think a pipeline will be built through BC? All right, let me answer that here in a second. Let me first, very quickly, we'll drop our TSX goat. We are halfway to a show for tomorrow. All right. Do I think a pipeline will be built? Okay. Oh, I misread this. First, I thought it was, do you think one should be built? And I do. I do think one should be built. But here's the question. Do you think a pipeline will be built? That's a different question altogether. I want to say yes. I want to say yes, but I have heard a few different things. There was an interview with Carney, not that, it was probably about a month ago, and they were talking about pipelines and, and how he was open to the pipeline going through. But then he kind of hinted at the end that it's not even up to him. He's just not going to stand in the way. The government's not going to stand in the way. They're going to allow it to happen. But there's still a lot of other, basically share owners in that process. So first of all, the government of New Brunswick would have to, because I can't see the Liberals. I can't see them sort of saying, we're pushing it through whether you like it or not. I don't think they would do that. So yeah, the government. So Ebby, I don't think he's very pro. I think also the Indigenous folks are not wanting it as well. So there's a lot of resistance to it. So what could they do? What can they do? So I think one thing that they could do pipeline-wise is where you have the Trans Mountain line. You could always, I don't know if you could twin that one. That's the thing. There's this process called twinning, and what twinning is where you've already got a pipeline. You basically lay a second pipeline right next to it, because one, it's a lot less. Well, there's a lot less that you have to do, for the simple reason that you don't have to worry about the regulations. All the land is already zoned for the first pipeline. So you can pretty much, twinning is just a way of pretty much doubling your capacity. That could be something. Now, what do I think might happen, though? And here's the thing. I don't think it's the best choice. I do think there is that possibility. I think there's a higher possibility of getting one up to Churchill. I don't particularly like that, because to me, that is, well, to me, that's not a year-round port. I see that as a port that there could be some problems in the winter. Maybe you could argue that with global with global warming, climate change, that port might be, have a lot more days than perhaps days of old. But I don't know. I mean, we're running a pipeline across Canada to the east. You get into another issue when you start to get to Quebec. Quebec is they're pretty anti-pipeline. So you would almost, in this case, have to run it to the Great Lakes. You'd have to run it to, and quite literally, you would pretty much want to run it to, I would say, Kingston. And the reason I would say Kingston is then you've sort of avoided all the locks, because I'm pretty sure that a lot of oil tankers are not going to fit through those locks. So the other option, if we take that off the table, so let's just say we can have a pipeline. Right now, we can transport by rail, but there's a lot of people that are very uncomfortable with transporting oil by rail. There have been, there's been some issues. There's been some issues in the past with that. So doesn't mean that there's going to be issues in the future. And I think if they want to do it that way, they just have to make sure that, they avoid any potential issues, derailments, things like that, especially in the middle of a the middle of a city, or, well, not really a city, more of a smaller city, that type of thing. So, do I think that it'll actually get built? No, I don't. I think I think there's just too much resistance, and I hope I'm wrong, John. I really hope I'm wrong, but I don't see. Um, I think if it were reversed, I think if Polyev, for example, had won the election and hadn't lost all of his popularity, um, I think he would have pushed more to try to get a pipeline through BC than what the current government will do. So yeah, I'll definitely say that. All right, holy banana bread. Now we're caught up with the supers. Let's get into the rest of the chat. A Punky is in the house with a hello all. And let's see. Sadly not. I caught the slight dip at the end of yesterday. Had I only been a little more patient. Yeah, that's one of the problems when we're in a time like this where we pretty much have, there's almost like a black swan just sort of flying around up there and you never know when it's going to swoop down. That's kind of what we're in right now. So if you missed a dip, like if you missed the dip today, you might get a better dip next week, or you may not. That's the problem. That's kind of the marvel of the market. And that's why, and I talk about dollar cost averaging a lot. That's why dollar cost averaging sort of avoids all of the trying to figure out where the bottom is, because you're just buying regularly and you're going to hit bottoms, you're going to hit highs, you're going to hit middles, but you're going to pay a very fair price for your assets when you do it that way. Ian says, hi, everybody. I'm eating popcorn, watching the markets fall. What do you guys like to put on your popcorn? I'm looking to try something new. My favorite popcorn. Well, there's a few. Like I love dill pickle on popcorn. But it's if you eat a bucket if you eat a bag of dill pickle popcorn, there's so much salt in that you're gonna be drinking water the rest of the night. So right now, I think my favorite right now is probably you can buy like the Smart Corn. You can buy that. I think it's Smart Pop or whatever. You can buy their jalapeno one. It's got some cheese, some jalapeno in it. It's nice and spicy. So I like that. All right, Anise is in the house with a good afternoon, and chicken soup popcorn. Um, so Ian says I found some chicken soup powder in the cupboard. Going to try that on the popcorn. Well, that for some reason it makes me think that you're going to have your chicken soup popcorn while you're reading Chicken Soup for the Soul or something. Oh boy, that's funny. Niece says the company I want to buy into is raising it in price, and the ones I have getting cheaper. So mixed feelings about that, but I will go after the one that gives the most bang for the buck. Yeah, that tends to be a good thing to do. A lot of times, when I'm buying, I'm looking for the ones that there are a deal. I'm looking for those. I like dips. I like to buy the dip, but I'm also sometimes I'm looking at longer trends too. If there's a company that's down and there's a reason it's down, it might be a very good reason, or it may be a very good company to put some money into. Let's see. Ian says, bought some POW today, mostly just to round up to the next $100 on the dividend after the increase. Okay, fair enough. Let's see. Callie says, I put a little package of Splenda and some salt and butter on my popcorn. There we go. Punkies uses herb butter. Is this now the popcorn stream? What's popping with Mountain Finance? No, boy. Scott says, good afternoon. And let's see here. Afternoon. Shaved off 20% of some C&Q this morning. Wanted it at 70, but got filled at 68.25. Still holding the bulk for long term. Okay. Well, you had mentioned, Rory, that you were planning to do that, so not too shabby. Not buying anything yet. Lance says, good afternoon. Bought the dip on XMA today and lowered my adjusted cost base sharply. I still think there's more dips around and I'm gonna say corner, around the corner. Oh yeah, there we go, corner. Samantha is in the house with a hello all. Hello, Samantha, how are you? Paul says good afternoon. And yeah, guys, we are halfway to a show for tomorrow. So not that far to go. Cindy says, it's a good day to buy. It is. It is. Samantha, been buying up a few shares here and there with the dip. So ZSP, ZEQT, and ZLB. A lot of the BM, you like your BMOs, that's for sure. Let's see. No green Santa hat. I know, I know. Well, you never know. There's still time. Yeah, and if this conflict, I guess it's not technically a war because it was never approved by Congress. If this conflict were to end, we could get back into the green. We could. I don't think it's going to happen though. I don't think it's going to end anytime soon. Cindy's saying, great, now I want popcorn. Yeah, Cindy, you and me both. I had no craving for popcorn today until now. Until now. Now I'm like, is the stream over yet? Because I want some popcorn. Brian says, good afternoon, everyone. And let's see, Roku is in the house with an afternoon all. And Brian, I'm down 0.62% today and down 1.27% year to date. Yikes. You know what? I was just quickly looking over here. The TSX actually is still in the green year to date, up 0.08%. Perlovia had a lot of fun with well.t today. Gotta love successful swinging. Swinging is good. What did well do today? You know what? Let's just take a quick look. Oh, it helps if I bring it up. It helps if I bring it up. There we go. Well, there we go. And all right. So you had a little bit. You know what? If you were swinging today, let's just go to the 1 day. All right. So I'm assuming that you got in down here around 395, sold up here at 419, something like that. Not too bad. Let's see. Offroman 1. Offroman. I don't know who Offroman is, I will admit. But all right, let's see. A jury just ruled in his favor after 7 Ohio deputies sued him for $4 million for using raid footage in his music videos. Okay, so he's a singer. The court officially protected his right to free speech. I like that. I like that. Yeah, there's a thing in media. So in media, and this extends to YouTube, there's a thing called free use. And basically, if you're reviewing content or, news or things like that, you are allowed to show clips. All the news stations do it. They're using it through free use. But here's the thing. You can't just sort of, you have to keep it short. So you can't show like really long clips. And you also have to add something to it, at least some commentary or something. So if you ever watch a reaction video, a lot of times they won't just play the whole video. They'll stop, stop and give feedback on the video as you're going through it. And that's just because it's kind of works into the free use. But I think with free use, it's not 100% clear. Now with YouTube too, it gets a little bit complicated too. There are companies. So for example, I ran into an issue with the Grand Prix. The Tour de France. The Tour de France. So one event, a Tour de France event from like 10 years ago or something, claimed 2 of my live streams back in, and this was, I don't know, a couple years ago. So I couldn't figure out why. All I know is that whatever was offended, I told YouTube just to delete it. So I finally figured out that it was something in my opening, like the little countdown thing. So I just changed, I changed the countdown number. And I guess it didn't like I guess it was trying to claim that it owned my countdown number. Now I got that countdown thing off of Canva, which is all free stuff that you're allowed to use. So I don't know. But there is other issues. There are companies that will sometimes go out there and they will basically just copyright claim all kinds of stuff. even though they don't even own the copyrights, they'll still do it anyway. And a lot of people don't fight back, so they end up stealing a bunch of revenue. Because what they won't do is they won't actually give you a copyright strike. They'll just claim the copyright so that instead of you getting paid, they get paid. So it happens. It happens. Anyway, still, congratulations, Offro Man. All right. Waiting for HOD to split. Reverse split, that is. Yes. Well, we'll have to see. We'll have to see if it happens. Doorpat, there will be more dips. I am just out of cash. Fair enough. Yeah, absolutely. Market will slowly sell off over time. I'm just waiting. And Hippo, welcome back. Thank you, by the way, again for that gifted sub earlier at 3 p.m. Let's see. But what do I know? ENCL dropped their dividend from 29 to 25 back in January of 2025. Do you think they will bump it up anytime soon? That's a good question. That's a really good question, Ian. I'd love to see them do it, but I guess it will depend on how long this lasts. I think if this lasts for a longer time, there's probably a good chance you could perhaps see it. All right, now I just got to jump ahead very quickly because we have another super chat. Another super chat coming in from Lentube. Lentube is in with a super chat. So very quickly, let's release Space Goat. Space Goat is doing his thing. He's doing his thing up there on the moon. So fantastic. That puts us one away from a show for tomorrow. All right, Len says HHIS performing well. Good to hold on to. So I do like HHIS. In fact, so tomorrow's video, we're taking a look at HHIC, CANI, and ECHI. It's kind of an update to an earlier video. But the next video after that, we're going back to HHIS. We're going to do a little bit of a deep dive into HHIS. So I'm looking forward to that one. It will be, like I said, that'll be Tuesday. Or if you're a channel member, you'll be able to watch that one on Monday. But yeah, that one is coming up. All right. Now, let's get back to where I was. Let's see, where were we? I was, okay. Here we are. I was, how I do it, guys, is it sort of gets all over the place. So I just remembered my next comment was Danielle. So here's Danielle. All right. Hello, Candace. Do you still believe in copper or you think it was a bubble? I still believe and bought more of Amerigo. I hope I am right. Still have some foran. I'm still very bullish on copper long term. Maybe, what's happening right now is depressing metals, but I'm just looking at this as being buying opportunities. So CPCC, I did add some of that actually today because it was nice and low. Wahipple, I got ECHI with my paycheck money this morning. Nice. Very, very cool. Actually, the two guys from 9 Point, I'm going to have them back on the channel soon. I'm going to film another interview with them on Tuesday, but then it has to go through compliance and all of that stuff. So by the time it actually shows up on the channel, probably be about a month. Well, maybe not quite a month, but it's going to be cool. Wahipple, Pipeline 1, Northern BC, a steep hill to climb. I believe foreign mining will go back up this summer, but it depends on how the merger vote goes. Okay, yeah, that'd be interesting to see. Oh, we have 1 minute to the bell. So guys, if you don't like loud noise, the bell's a little loud. So feel free to turn down your volume or mute it here in about, in about 50 seconds. All right, and yeah, we're one away from adding tomorrow's show. Let's see, Wahipple. The merger's not bad, but it ties you to a bigger company that already making money, so the upside potential could be less still there. Okay, interesting. Brian says there are locks on the St. Lawrence. Can't any decent sized tankers into King? Oh, you can't. Oh, great. Why are there locks on the St. Lawrence? All right, fair enough. So how do we get the oil out, guys? if we can't use Quebec, how do we get the oil out? I mean, other than Churchill. If there's locks, yeah, that's kind of a thing. All right, guys, it is time. The market. The market is closed. The bloodbath stops, which is good. Locks. You gotta love locks, but nonetheless. Ian says, I don't recommend using chicken soup powder on your popcorn. My eating hand is stained yellow now. There you go. Oh, yikes. All right. And Mary is in the house, guys. Mary is our official captain of the like button. And that means, guys, if you haven't hit that like button yet, let's do it. I'm just refreshing the test box here to see where it's at. You guys are doing good today. We're at 32. Let's get that to 50 really fast, guys. Now, I do get to have a quick little sip of my coffee because Mary came in. But I'm going to put you on mute because you don't need to hear me slurp-a-rooping. Here we go. Oh, gosh. That was really good. But Pat Attack. First time I saw Pat Attack's name, I thought it said Potato Attack. I'm not going to lie. More dip. And dips. Let's see. French onion dip or the TSX. I know. Chips and dip. Dips and chips. Is there a difference? I guess. Chad says, haha. All right. I bought 80 more shares of SCGH. Nice. Pat says, holy banana bread. Let's see. You like BMO too much. On sale on Canoe. Who like BMO? I think it was it Samantha? I think it was Samantha or Kelly, but I think it was Samantha. Let's see, Rory. I have BMO there, okay, in my book. BMO funds, that is. Well, I will say this: BMO, the management team over there is pretty darn good. So I always give them credit for that. BMO tends to be, out of all the banks that have a lot of funds, BMO I think is the one that we probably look at more than anybody else. Let's see, VDY has BMO. There we go. Tom. Could have made a quick 1K on IVN this morning, but problems transferring funds, was going to buy in at 1056. Grr. Yeah, IVN had a better second half of the day for sure. Now I made a small swing today, but I don't know what happened. I went to update it just before the stream, and I looked and I'm like, where's my thing from this morning? So I don't know why it didn't post. But so yeah, I was looking at, there was really nothing that I was looking at. I'm like, okay, what can I grab here right now? And I was looking, and I ended up just jumping into a little bit of MSTE this morning. I bought like 2,000 shares, and then I sold it just before the stream started for, I don't know, $220 profit. But I was like, I'll just, at least have something on the book for the day. Conway says, Ian says, I don't know how, but I'm up 5.57% year to date. ENCL is doing the heavy lifting for me. Lisa is in the house. Mary says, let's hit the like button and support the channel. Yeah, guys. Let me take a look here. We'll see if we got to that 50. I don't know. We're probably going to be at 47. That's typically how it goes. Oh, we're not even there. 39. Holy banana bread. What can I say? Let's move to Samantha. I don't want to look at the likes at the moment. Samantha says, I invest with BMO, so I had to choose some funds to save the trading fee. That's smart. That is smart. And the nice thing is BMO does have some good funds in there. So yeah, that's probably a very good move. Have you seen Adriano's video on Q Day? How do you think it compares to QQCL? I'm planning, actually, Scott, I'm planning to do another Daymax video. It's high on my list of priorities, so I might even do it this week. I might actually script it on Saturday. But I like Q Day a lot because you're looking at it's It's not aggressive in the way that a lot of covered calls can be a bit aggressive, because some of the stuff in Q-Day is not technically all covered calls, but they are writing a different type. They're kind of day trading on it. That's the 0 day to expiry part. So I like them both, to be honest. I think that there's a place. I think there's a place, at least for me, for both of them. I'm going to do a Q day, C day, S day. So we're going to look at the three of those. You know what? I'll just commit to it. I'm going to do that. I'll script that up Saturday. So that means that would then be next Friday, because Tuesday is the HHIS. So there we go. Oh, yes, I meant to mention this. Rory says, Pierre was on the Joe Rogan Experience. Watch that. Interesting discussions. I want to watch it. I think it's about 2 hours. And I was actually a little surprised. So back during the election, here's a little interesting tidbit. The Joe Rogan Experience wanted to get Pierre Poilievre on during the election, but he declined. He declined, and I think part of it is that it's easy for a politician, if you're talking for 2 hours, to perhaps say things outside of your script, outside of your normal talking script. So that would be the interesting thing. I really want it. Here, let me ask you this question, Rory. Did he say anything that you might think he would never say if he was in an interview? And I know you're going to say yes. I mean, because obviously he had to, but I actually do want to watch that. I guess listen to it. I'm not going to, I'll have it on in the background. I'll be doing something else, but I do want to check that out. Yep, says a choo-choo train. There we go. Yeah, the Financial Express is, we're almost over the hill. It's still going up, I think I can, but you guys will get it there. Metals will go back up in June, July. New all-time high around the corner. It's hard to watch them plummet, but it's just like a coiled spring. Yeah. I mean, no, I think there'll definitely be some recovery for sure. All right, and yeah, speaking of that train, Luke picked up some COCC, nice, and so CPCC. All right. Oh, I read that. Actually, I read that and I said, oh, I think he means Cameco, but no, you meant CPCC. There we go. Pat says bought some HDiv today at open. Nice. How low was HDiv at open? Because that would probably be its lowest price of the day. Let's see here. So 2057-ish. So yeah, you probably got a pretty good deal. Let's see. Luke, CPCC is the copper covered call, and that it is. It is. Let's see. Just did. Come on, guys. Let's help Candace. Oh, the like button. There we go. Awesome. Thank you, Marin. Pipeline won't get built until Liberals get voted out, says Chad. That is a possibility. Paul says Q-Day booted XLK out of their own new QVMP ETF that has 25 tech stocks. So the champion lines. So Hamilton has their champion lines. I like the champion lines. I think they're really good ETFs for sure. And you can get the champion lines in two versions. One version is just a regular ETF, a regular dividend income. A dividend, dividend growth. Normal dividend growth ETF, perfect. You can also get a leveraged version of each of them as well, and that's pretty cool. And that's neat because then you're really taking advantage. Like if you've got leverage on both sides, I don't get super worried because yes, you're going down 25% faster, but then when you recover, you're recovering 25. So you are kind of canceling that leverage out. The only time I don't like leverage is one, I don't like it if it's too high. Two, I don't like it if it is leverage like that resets. And a lot of times you got to be too high before you get leverage that resets daily. All right, let's see, QMVPET. Let's go MSTE, says monthly. Nice. Candace, you'll have to see what he said on differing subjects. Very common sense responses. Okay. Monthly says, great interview, Candace, with Paul. Oh, is it already up? Yeah, I met with him last night. So I did not know it was up already. All right, yeah. Um, anybody who's seen that interview, if you wouldn't mind, throw it over on the Discord, because yeah, it's there. Brian was 915, didn't get any. Or sorry, Brian. Bank. Oh boy, yeah, Bank was 915. All right. Paul, bought some HDIV today to get my average cost to 20,000. Oh no, 20.5298. Boy, if your average cost was 20,000, then HDIV did really well. Holy cow. Started watching The Betty. The Betty. What's the I don't know what The Betty is. I'm gonna say I don't know. But this reminds me, guys. Oh yeah, I still have it up. All right, perfect. All right, guys, so there's a little contest going on over at Blossom. It's with the ambassadors. And what we're doing is it's our version of March Madness. So obviously Brandon Beavis and the owners of Blossom, they put together a contest to sort of try to get us to get the word out about Blossom and get some more folks over to check it out. Well, you guys have moved me up into fourth place. I'm in fourth. I'm just out of the medal contention. So, I'm almost in medal contention. So right now we're sitting at 9 for the month. First place, Green Owl, way up there at 25. I realistically probably am not going to catch them. But guys, if you have not yet signed up for Blossom, here is your opportunity. If two of you, well, let's say 3 to make it undisputed, we could get me into the bronze position, guys. And that wouldn't be too hard. So I'm going to let me drop the thing in here. All right, here comes the link. Oh, funny. I got a buzz on my phone and I looked at my watch quickly and it just had the entire thing I just said about Blossom all typed out. I think Alexa thought that was a giant question. But anyway, I'd like to win. I don't think I'm gonna, but hey, the higher up I get, the better. This is kind of fun. Fourth place, you guys already got me from I was at 7th place a week ago. So you guys have done fantastic. So just, in case you are new here and don't know what Blossom is, Blossom, and I'm just going to pull this over here. It's a social media app. So it is a social media app for investors. It was started by some investors that Brandon Beavis is very big into it. And well, it's kind of cool. Right now it covers Canada and the US. We also have Nice. Nice is on there. So we have Sweden as well. But it's just a way you can talk to each other. Now, one of the nice things too about Blossom is we went through this phase in Blossom a while back where people were kind of getting a little bit on the income investors, but it seems to have absolutely gone the other way. So right now it seems to be doing pretty good. I'm liking it. And what I do over here, guys, is I don't even go through this part of Blossom. Well, there we go. There's Brandon Beavis right there. Picture of him and his daughter. But I normally don't even go through this part because what I do is I just go through where these are the people who I am following. And that's what I do. And Brandon Beavis is there because we follow each other. Woohoo. But yeah, I go through here. And, oops, here's somebody I need to follow. Thomas, hello. There we go. And I always say, every time I do this, guys, I'm hoping to see something from one of you guys. Well, look at this. Oh, no, there's Kelly, but she just liked one of my posts. It's not a post from Kelly. Holy banana bread. But yeah, so I just go through here. I'm always looking for you guys because that way there I can reply. I can take a look, see what's going on. If you guys really post something over on Blossom and you really want me to look at it, just throw in a mention. So an at right here. So an at Mountain Finance, and it comes up here on my mentions and I will go check it out. Holy banana bread. It's been 10 days since anyone has thrown a mention my way. So what can I say? But it is pretty good. Now, one of the other stuff that goes on over here on Blossom is, first of all, you can hook up your portfolio. Either you can, if depending on which broker you have, Blossom may be able to just go and look and sort of pop it up for you automatically, or you can do it manually. Now you may, and guys, if you're new, you're seeing these dollar amounts here. You would not see that if, and nobody else would see that but you. So anybody who looks at my portfolio, they're only going to see percentages. And just to give you an example, let's go back to home. And you know what? Let's pick on Brandon Beavis. Where are you, Beavis? Come on, Beavis head. There you are. There you are. We're going to go to Brandon. And here you go. You'll see it's percentages. So percentages is what you're going to see. And here is Brandon Beavis's. This is his portfolio. It's not that big. It's it's all ETFs pretty much, other than Bitcoin. There's Bitcoin in there as well. But you can see VOO, XEQT, MCHI, and then Lockheed Martin, the defense pick in there. And then some Bitcoin, some kits, and some Super Cooper. So there we go. And it's kind of cool. So it does give you all of that. There's other things in here as well. I don't know, is the learn work? Oh, it is. So yeah, there's a learn section where you can actually go in, and there are a few little things in there, like if you want to look at it. Now, some of them, some of the learn, I think you can only go so far. Whereas if you're a pro user, you can see a bit more. But there is these things, like a lot of the companies will come in and will pay you to watch. So basically they pay you to watch an ad. So they might come in, and usually they're not just like a straight up ad. They're like more or less like BMO, for example, might come in and they might teach you how a covered call works. And then you'll earn a couple bucks. And what you can do with that money is you can basically, you can take it, or you can even gift it to somebody who's on Blossom. Not saying gift it to me, guys. I'm just saying you can do it that way. Or just, or take it, just take it, if you watch, especially if you watch a lot of stuff in here. So like here, I'll give you an example here. Well, here, BMO, there's an introduction to ETF liquidity, what are MERS, and are enhanced income ETFs right for you? Why are these locked? Oh, complete onboarding to unlock BMO. Oh, okay. Oh, it's probably because I can unlock it. Like they're all unlocked on my my thing. I just haven't gone through the onboarding here, but they're all there. Anyway, that's that's my little spiel on Blossom today. Let's get back to the chat. Paul started watching the Better Call Paul video before the live started. Damn, send key on keyboard. Oh boy. Yeah, I did not know. I didn't know it was up. He didn't tell me when it was being posted. So, what can I say? Paul says lots of us already have the Blossom app. Yeah, exactly. Well, yeah, and that's true. Most of you, I think a lot of you do. And that's the one downside. Anybody who doesn't have a lot of people in their community who are already on Blossom, they have an unfair advantage in this March Madness contest. Scott says, you said the A word. I did. I am so sorry. I gotta be conscious. Did I trigger any of your devices, Scott? I hope not. Daniel says, hello to the group chat. Well, hello to you as well. I hope you're having a good day. Let's see here. Lance, Wealthsimple is offering 0% fees for crypto if you auto invest with your pay in payday. I'm going to hop on that in the near future, I think. Yes. Also, if you use Shakepay, Shakepay also has a new promotion out as well, where they are, if you set up a reoccurring buy of Bitcoin, they're waiving the spread on that as well. So I know I got some messages from that the other day. So looks like they're both doing a nice little deal for you if you're buying, of course, Bitcoin. All right. And yeah, the Financial Express, we're one away. Oh boy, actually not anymore. Because here is the wonderful Mary in with a 279 super sticker. That, guys, that is our math goat. That is our final goat. Well, not our final goat. There's another goat. There's our holiday goat that's out there. But that goat gets us a show tomorrow. So we will be back here again tomorrow. And we're going to do this all over again. And because it's Mary, I get to have some coffee. That was really good. Oh, you know what I need? And I don't know how to do this, guys. I need so that if I hit mute to drink some coffee, there should be like a little sound, like a little elevator music, like do 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 do. Yeah, anyway, maybe I don't need that. Now that I've said it, I'm like, that's really stupid. But that's fine. I will. I defend my right to say really stupid things at times. All right. No, she ignored you. She ignores me half the time too. Story of my life. Yes, I find. Um, you know the. Uh, well, it depends on which one. So the A word, I do find that she tends to get quite talkative. The S word. Now, sometimes she's hard to get her the attention, but she's not. She hasn't been updated. Like the S is still the old S. So, but the A is updated, and she sometimes has some stuff to say. She sometimes has an opinion, and it comes out. A Chad says, only took me a week back in COVID days with TD for delivery. That's crazy waiting. Okay. A week. Oh, fun. All right. Paul says, I did add C-Day, Q-Day, HDiv, MSTE Bank, and ECHI to the RRIF today. Okay. There we go. Not too shabby. Not too shabby at all. I like that. All right. Very cool. All right. Oh, and you know what, guys? I'm going to check and see if you guys got us to the 50 likes yet. There's like, there's 87 of you here. You guys should, how hard is it to get to 50 likes? It's not that hard. There we are, 52. All right. I like it. All right. Now we're going for 70, but, we'll wait to see what's going on. Brian says, Shakepay is only giving you 10 Satoshis a day now on the Shake. Barely worth the time now. I agree. Now, and here's the thing, I guess, if you do your Shake and you do your get your 10 Satoshis a day and get the number up nice and high, and you want to get the number up high first, so your streak. Because then if you make if you buy some Bitcoin, and I don't know how much, it used to be not that long ago, like probably 6 months ago, it was just like $10. You could just buy $10 worth of Bitcoin and it would unlock it so you'd get higher Satoshis each day for about 8 days. I imagine it's still 8 days, but I think it's probably about $100 now. I think you have to buy like $100 in Bitcoin, but take that with a grain of salt. I'm just guessing. That's a guess. It might be lower. I haven't really tried. So I know it's more than 20 though. Because I know just the other day I got a referral. So, and I think that was 25, and I just put that in, or no, it was 20. It was 20, and I put that into Bitcoin, and that didn't trigger it. That didn't trigger it. All right. Leon's Money Flow says, wonder why the market started to rip midday. I'm going to guess that we had obviously overnight we had that escalation, and we had all of the stuff with Iran attacking Qatar, and and plus Trump was at that point threatening to completely demolish an oil field in Iran. I think Trump kind of realized what was going on, and he did step back today. He stepped back later in the day, saying that he would not attack any oil, and that he would ask Israel not to attack any further oil. And I think he even asked Iran to maybe stop attacking oil, but I don't think Iran's gonna. Iran wants to drive the price up to $200 a barrel. I mean, they're understandably they're annoyed. They're annoyed, of course. But yeah, I think that's what sort of helped that market turn around a little bit, is that reverse on stance. Because at least if the U.S. and Israel stop hitting Iran's oil, Iran probably will hit probably hit maybe some of their Gulf neighbors a little bit less. So we'll have to see. I mean, this is kind of one of these things where Trump says one thing one day, and the next day everything is thrown out the window again. But I hope not. I hope not in this case. And I don't think Trump wants the oil to go too crazy, because obviously Americans are not happy about that. So let's see. Rory recovered a bit, but hopefully more red pain. Rory, Rory, oh gosh, Rory wants more red pain. I hope you're wrong. I'd like to see a green Friday, but we'll see. Paul, have fun reporting each of those Shakepay shakes for each day to have your cost basis. That is true. That is absolutely true. So, yeah. And here's the thing. I mean, I ended up using, I think, the 1 year when I was really big into Shakepay, I had to use Coinly. And what really sucked is I couldn't even use the free version of Coinly because I had too many transactions. So, yeah, I mean, you can do it manually, but oh boy, it's it would take, yeah, it would be a pain, absolutely. Scott, Satoshi's, is that Dragon Ball Z? No. Rory, extreme fear on the greed index, on the greed fear index right now. Nice. And you can see that greed fear index, guys, over here on, I think it's in Insights. I think it is. I'm just taking a look here. It's in here somewhere. I never really look at it. I don't know. Maybe it's not. I thought it was in Insights. Maybe let's go to markets. Oh, there it is. It's on markets. There we go. So yeah, markets right here. Right now we're in extreme fear, 17.26. So yeah, 1 month ago we were in fear at 39.56. About a year ago we were in extreme fear. So hey, we're matching last year a little bit. We're actually in more extreme than last year a little bit because we're lower. The lower the number, the more fearful. But yeah, there we go. There's one place that you can get quick access to that map over there on the Markets tab, not the Insights tab. No, the new Pokemon card. I honestly, guys, I know almost very little about Pokemon. I know that you used to run around and catch them outside. Was that Pokemon Go? Or, but I don't know a lot about Pokemon. I've never played Pokemon, the card game, or was there a video? I think there was a video game too, but it might have been a video game based on the card game. Brian says, a long time ago, they used to accumulate daily shake totals for consecutive days shaking. I often used to get well over 1,000 a day. I set up a 10 p.m. alarm to remind myself. Yeah, those were the days, right? Like you used to get some crazy amount of Satoshis back in the day. I miss those. Let's see. Are Poke Bowls made with Pokemon? Good question. Chad seems to think they might. I don't know. Michael says coffee sip elevator music or Jeopardy music. Ooh. That actually kind of, other than I think I would probably get copyright claims on that. Chat says, anyone in here win that gold with Wealthsimple? I don't think so. At least if somebody has, they're keeping their mouth shut. And that might be fine. That might be fine. I mean, but no, I really wanted somebody to be, somebody to win. Rory, EITX is tomorrow. Ooh, nice. So yeah, now I can see, Rory. If you had a red day tomorrow, and you got a dip, and then EIT has ex-dividend day, you're thinking you could get yourself a pretty good deal. I may have to look at EIT in the morning, see what happens there. That is a possibility for sure. Huh. Good one. Good one. I like it. I like it. Oh boy. What can I say? All right, let's see here. And yeah, Rory says, yep. Yeah. Actually, you know what, guys? Let's take one quick look again at the TSX. Here we are. I just wanted to see if we still see we actually did finish on an up. So I'm liking that. I'm liking that. Scott says 1634 closed today. Now, where are you hoping to get in at, Rory? Are you hoping to get in at 16? Because I don't know if they'll go down that far. But if we look at Canoe right now, EIT, here we go. Whoops, let's try EIT instead of EITY. Boom. All right. And yeah, look at this, 1634. I'm just going to pull up the 1 year. So yeah, even now, like, you know what? I mean, worst case scenario, could you imagine if it went back down to like 1550? That'd be a nice entry point. In the 0 to 100K challenge, let me pull this up here. All right, we need right over here. And where is EIT? EIT, right here. So my adjusted cost base in here, 1362, but that's going up. That is going up for sure. Because I am adding 10 this month. Maybe 20 if it goes down a bit tomorrow, but yep, that'll be going up for sure. All right, let's take a look here and see what we got here. 1634 closed today. 16 to 6. Yeah, I would say that's not a bad price range. Pat says I need the 1550. Nice. Lance, I buy and sell Pokemon cards. They have blown up out of nowhere. Recently sold a $6,000 card and $2,700 card and selling more next month. The things people will pay for amazes me. Well, I discovered, so I like Lego. Lego's fun. I've got some Lego sets around. I actually build it. I put them up on the things. But a lot of especially I know within the Star Wars Lego community, there's a lot of people because they will put out a particular set, and it'll only run for a limited time. So you might only have maybe a year, maybe 2 years. After that, that set's done. It doesn't, they never sell it again. They may sell a similar set, but that one set they don't sell. So a lot of people actually buy some of these Star Wars sets, and after they're no longer being printed or made, they sell them as collectors. And there's people in there that will do, there's actually YouTube channels on investing in Lego. Basically sets to buy, sets that are destined to eventually be worth a whole bunch of money. I was just like, holy banana bread. I know about comic book investing and things like that. And I don't even know if comic book investing is that big anymore because, are people buying paper comics anymore? Or are they just going to buy the digital ones? Pat says only support at 1550. 1575 would be better. All right. Oh, I need to turn off the Financial Express. Let me do that because we are already, there we go. We already got a show. We got a show for tomorrow. All right. Yeah, some Charizard Pika. Charizard. I've heard, so that's the really expensive one, I think. And I'll tell you why, because I think I was watching one of the ice coffee hour shows, and I thought I thought Andre Zick was going on about Charizard for a bit, but so I think it's expensive. Pat says you hold so many stocks. Well, yeah, that is the 0 to 100K. So it's a portfolio that it's got some stocks in it. It's got a lot more ETFs now. When I started it, it was more stock based, and it's slowly moving into more ETF side. But for now, yeah, there's a good number. I don't know how many are there. Well, heck, how many are there? Oh, that's not the 0 to 100K challenge. Where is it? Where are you at? I have way too many windows. Here we go. So yeah, it's not that many. I mean, yeah, I guess it's, what is that? 20, I think, something like that. But yeah, I'm going to probably wean this down a little bit, but at the same time, part of it is I like to keep a good number, because where I'm doing the 0 to 100K challenge and people are having a chance to sort of look, it just gives me some, it gives me some different ones to sort of pull in. And every so often I pull one in that's like right here, I pulled in this fish one. That may be a mistake. That may be the first big mistake. I liked it because it's a royalty. But it's also a royalty in gold. So right now it's currently down 7.86%. Oh boy. Actually right now I have, oh, look at this. So we got INT down 2.51, total return, fish down 7.86. eBank is actually down right now, 0.10. And CPCC down 5.66. Oh my gosh. BlackBerry down 8.52. I thought for a second, I looked across and I said Bird. I'm like, but no, Bird's up 72.5. AGCC, also another, that's the silver cover call one. That one's down as well. But mind you, these total returns are from the lifetime of the challenge. So, it's not, because somebody asked me actually, I had a comment. And they were like, oh, is that year to date? That's really good. I'm like, no, it's the lifetime of the challenge, so about 32 months. Well, 32 months if you've been here since the beginning of the challenge, because obviously, some stocks have come and gone during that time, but nonetheless. All right, let's see here. Chad says, me too. Have 53 holdings now. Crazy to keep track of. Holy banana bread. That's, yeah, that's a lot. That's definitely a lot for sure. Yeah, actually, and I don't know what the final cut looks like, but I know when I was talking to Paul last night, he was actually talking about how many stocks he has, and he's trying to weed them down a little bit. We talked a little bit about that in there as well. Scott, I have a sound-activated Psyduck around here somewhere. Ooh, what's a? I'm going to assume that's a Pokemon, a Psyduck. Is that like a duck with psychic powers? It's like it quacks for a cracker, and if you don't give it one, then it mind controls you into getting a cracker. Do ducks even eat crackers? I don't know. I don't think they do, but what can I say? All right. I'm going to have some coffee here, guys. Just give me a second. Okay, that was very good, very good. Brian says, my type of investors hold around the same number. Okay, so both Brian and Chad, they're they're charting a whole bunch. I always say this, guys. When it comes to how many stocks you hold, there's not a right number, or how many stocks, how many ETFs. Really, it boils down to how much time you are willing to babysit what you have. So if you are very hands-off, you just want set and forget, you're probably better off with a smaller number, because you can get very wide diversified. When you look at things like, well, like HDIV, HDIV is pretty well diversified. So you can get good ETFs, even income ones that are well diversified. Then you don't need as many, which is nice. If you have a ton of time and you just love doing your fundamentals, and you pretty much breathe, eat, sleep stocks and ETFs, then yeah, you could have more. I always say just have as many as you're comfortable with handling, and that you're not going to get to a point where you have too many that you just don't have time to sort of pay attention to what they're doing. So if you're in that boat, then it's time to start wheedling down. But as long as you are okay, there's no real right and wrong answer to it. Chat says, yeah, keep me saying I'm gonna downsize, then I find something else to buy. Okay, fair enough. Had 103 when I first started investing. Oh boy, that's a lot. And I do, eat, breathe, and sleep finance. But well, then again, I mean, I'm, making videos, editing, all of that stuff. It takes up a lot of time. But yeah, I don't think I could manage 103 at once. Lance, let's see. They're expensive, valuable when they're graded and get a 10 out of 10. Yeah, let's see. I wish I would have bought boxes of them cards back in the day. Yeah. Oh boy. Lance, there's a card I want to send in for grading, and although it won't get a 10, it will still be worth a ton of 9 out of 10. Wish I kept everything I had as a kid. Ah, there you go. There you go. That's pretty cool. Rory says, I still have O-Pee-Chee NHL hockey cards. I have an entire Wayne Gretzky portfolio of cards, but no rookie. Ah, yeah. That's the thing. That's the thing. I wonder how much. I mean, how much does a Wayne Gretzky rookie card go for? Um, you know what? We got Google. We can just check. I'm just curious. I am curious. Let's see. Wayne Gretzky rookie card. I'm going to put price in here too. Let's see. Yeah, the 1979 Wayne Gretzky rookie card is the most valuable hockey card. So if you have a 10 gem mint copies, 3.75 million. That's like you could almost hire an NHL player for a year for that. That's a lot. And the lower grade cards can go for 13 to 16,000. Okay. Interesting. Very interesting. So if you've got the 10, so I guess if you have, like, I've seen those things that you can buy, like, they're like two slabs of almost like a thick plastic. You put the card in the middle and then they screw them together. Yeah, 3.75 million. Holy banana bread. I think that's worth more than the first what was it? Amazing Fantasy, the first appearance of Spider-Man. So wow, that's incredible. That's insane. Rory, 1981 to 82. Let's see. I have 9 holdings in the RRIF. 8 of the 9 are income ETFs. Okay, interesting. Chad has a few Wayne Gretzky rookie cards. Yes, but Chad, are they tens? Are they tens, Chad? Because if they are, Chad's buying lunch for everybody. Lance says, research them and send in some for grading. My buddy sold a LeBron James card for 60,000 US. Yeah, and I wonder, I don't know if this number over here is, it's not telling me if it's in US dollars or Canadian dollars, but at 3.75 million, who cares? It's still a good amount of money. Benny, April Fools is coming up. Any fun ideas in mind for the channel? No, I've never done, I've never done like a prank or anything on April Fools for the channel. But yeah, it would be, oh God, it would be fun. It would be fun. The only problem, Benny, is that, you get that casual viewer. If I come in and I do just like a fake video or something, they'll look at it and like, what the hell is this? I'm never coming back here. So there is that danger with April Fools. But no, I don't have any real plans. But maybe, I don't know. Problem is, because I don't know about you guys, but I was always told that you're not allowed to do any jokes or anything after, like any April Fool's pranks after noon. So after you pass noon. So, our show will be obviously later in the day, and I'll be like, So, am I allowed to do something? I don't know. But it is a big day for Apple. April Fool's Day is Apple's 50th anniversary. So that's coming up, and we have to see what I think they're going to announce something. I don't know what they got. Something up their sleeves. Probably a new product of some sort. We'll see what it's going to turn out to be. But if they don't, if Apple just has a celebration but doesn't announce any new products on April Fool's Day on their 50th anniversary, I would be highly disappointed. I would be very, very disappointed. Let's see, Rory, I have 9 Jaromir Jagr rookie cards. Okay, I don't know how much of those ones are worth, but, hey. What about Mario Lemieux, Rory? Do you have any of those? Chat, let's see, had a roommate stiffed me on rent, so he paid me in his hockey cards. Wow, that's kind of fun. It's like, yeah, I don't have rent, but, well, I'll tell you, I think I've told the story before. Back when oh gosh, I was doing I had started a new management job at a superstore, and I was flat broke. I was absolutely broke, and I had missed the last C train, and I needed to get there because I had to get there for night. And I was like, what the heck do I do? So I called up a taxi, and the taxi came. And so the taxi guy I've got here. Now, I had this old typewriter. It was one of those, it was kind of like an early version of a word processor. So I went out to the taxi driver and I said, look, buddy, I'm sorry I called you. I got no money, but if you want to come in and take a look at this typewriter, I'll give you the typewriter for the ride. So he comes in, he looks at it, and he checks it out, and he's like, oh, yeah, okay, I'll do it. So, he gives me the ride, and I was mentioning that, because I had gotten this job on the other side of the city, I was probably going to have to move because I don't like being far from work. I hate spending a lot of time in transit. Um, and he's like, are you planning to move? I said, yeah. I said, I have to sublet this place. And he's like, I'll take it. So I was like, all right. He says, okay, what time are you off in the morning? He says, I'll pick you up and we'll come back here and we'll make the deal. And by the next morning, he picked me up, took me home, gave me a wad of cash for the first couple of months of rent, and I couldn't believe how fast him and his family moved in, and it was a very big family. I think they were, I think they were they. I think they might have been from Lebanon, but um, there was a lot of them, and I ended up moving within I was there for about a week because I planned to move in a week at that point. So because I had a place to go. So yeah, it was just a weird event. So sometimes strange things happen, and sometimes people pay for things in unconventional ways. Chad. Now I know if I ever need to rent a room, all I need with Chad is a few hockey cards. So I'll keep that in mind. Brian, some of them are hold forever, like banks, EIT, some long-time stable dividend stocks. My totals went up when I started to buy the new ETFs. The old stocks are still valid on div yield cost. Okay, fair enough. Let's see. Yeah, trying to set up my accounts to generate free cash flow for when I retire in 5 to 10 years. Very cool. Brian, that's why I am having some growth, but 75% div stocks. Set up my orders to buy EIT and even MSTE. Bank at 890. I have, I see something. I have them CRT.UN and ETH as well. I like ETH. All right, now, very quickly, we got another super chat that just came in. It is from Samantha. She wants the holiday goat. She wants the holiday goat. So, yeah, let's get the holiday goat going. Here we go. Here. Oh, I do. Oh boy, I like this one. I don't know if it's as funny. I don't know if it's as funny as the St. Patrick's Day one, but I'm gonna probably do a couple different Easter goats. So this is the first. This is the first attempt. Yeah, I want to find something. I want to find something that makes me snort. That's kind of one of my things. I like if it makes me laugh and you guys enjoy it, why not? Holy banana bread. All right. So there we have, and thank you, of course, Samantha. That is our goat, our holiday goat. After Easter, we'll have to come up with some more creative ones. Okay, Benny says, maybe April Fool's something fun would be like a goat sound instead of the bell. Oh, yeah, I go to ring the bell and all of a sudden a screaming goat shows up on the screen. I've got viewers having heart attacks and I got priests trying to exercise the computer. I don't know if that would work, but I'll figure something out. I'll figure something fun. I'll figure something fun. Rory, where I'm buying bank, that is. Let's see. I have Lemieux, Mike Bossy, Mark Messier, Yari Curry, but second year cards. Okay. And Chad's saying those are still nice. All right, let's see. I have Eric Lindros superstar card too. Yeah, I don't think Eric Lindros really did that much, did he? He sort of came in and didn't. I don't know. I don't think he was that. I don't think he was. I think the hype. He was like one of those hype stocks. He was a hype stock, Eric Lindros. Let's see. Me, I'm more. Too bad for his career. Um, yeah, let's see. And it's funny in my head. I have Eric Lindros and Mike Tyson in the same area. I don't know. I just see them as being similar. Chat says comic books still have some as a kid, never read, used to buy two at a time, one to read, one for the collection. Yeah, no, I used to do a little bit, more or less when I discovered, like at one point, they decided to kill Robin. So a friend of mine who was a big time collector just said, buy some of these. You'll be able to sell them in a year for a lot. I'm like, okay. So I don't know how many I bought. I bought a few, but I know, and then I was, these comics that I bought for like $1 or so. Couple of years later, I was selling them for like, almost $100 each. I mean, it was like, okay. Return on investment. I like that. But other than that, I didn't get too deep into it. Let's see. Chad says, I'll take old typewriters and sewing machines too, Candace. All right. Kelly says, that is the cutest goat yet. Let's check. All right. Just checking out my recent bloodletting. HHIS is killing me, down 18.8% total return. I think I'll pare it down a bit after rebound. Okay. Oh boy, that's down quite a bit. You must have got in pretty high. You must have got in pretty high there, Roku. So yeah, like I have, just sort of to pull things up back up here. HHIS, where are you? Right here. So right now with HHIS, I am currently in the challenge. My total return is still sitting up here at 11.50%, but the return on investment itself is negative 6.60. So the dividends have pushed it up into the positive, but I like it. I will add more to HHIS without a doubt. All right, 18%, nothing to worry about. Yeah, but it's down. It's been down a while. Need to be less risky. Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. And that's the thing. I always look at it this way. There's no right. I always say there's no right and wrong answer. It's what works with your risk profile. And if you get an ETF, and it is at that point that it's really annoying you, or you're just like, no, I need something a little more stable. I need something that isn't falling as much. Well, yeah, you could certainly do that. I always hate, though, when you take a loss. I hate to take a loss unless it makes sense. And, depending on what you're moving in, it could actually make sense. No risk, no reward, says Chad. I'm down 60% on Misty. Yikes. That's the US. Yeah, isn't that, is that a yield max? That's a yield max one, I think. So, yikes. I never liked yield max. It's just one of those companies that I was looking at the structure, looking at the whole idea of synthetic covered calls, and I'm like, I don't know how this is going to hold up. And so I did buy their strategy one initially, only when it was giving a crazy yield, and I rode it a little bit, because Bitcoin was doing well back then. But I got out pretty quickly because I was like, this isn't going to do well in a bear market. Um, Rory, I'm at 0% on MSTE. Didn't buy it yet. Okay, good. Let's see. Roku, I also have a lot of VFV and XAW to purge in the meltdown. Okay. All right. Fair enough. Fair enough. All right, guys, we got about 7 minutes left. Or if you keep me talking and distracted, longer. But nonetheless, if you got your final questions, get them on in. Get them on in. We'll take a look at them. Ooh, we'll take a look and see if we got to 70. I don't think we did, but you never know. Let's just take a gander, and we made it to 60. Well, we almost made it there. 6, 7, who knows? Ooh, did I just invent 6, 7, and then it went back in time to the alpha gen? I don't know. I'm just being silly. Let's see. Paul says Harvest was MSTY ETF also. I think no leverage. Let's see here. Brian, I took some losses on pot stocks and some battery material stocks. They were just never going to come back and still haven't. Yeah. I think a lot of people took losses on pot stocks because everybody was like, oh, it's illegal. It's going to go through the roof. And it never did. It never did. It went up in smoke instead. Chad, what do you think of Bell building a data center in Saskatchewan? Think the share price of Bell will increase? Bought another 5 shares today of Bell. So yeah, it's going to be near Regina, and it's going to be the biggest purpose-driven AI data center in Canada. So it will be the biggest. I like it, and this is and I've talked about Bell doubling down on AI. So I think if AI does well, this will really have some dividends for Bell. Is it going to increase their shares? I think long term, it's probably going to help quite a bit because you got to look at it this way. Telecommunication systems, let's just say companies, the telecommunication companies in Canada, they have not really a lot of area to grow. So, with Rogers going off, kind of doubling down on the sports side of their business, and both TELUS and Bell doubling down on AI, I definitely think that it is a good thing for them. This data center, when it's going to create, like it will create apparently about 800 jobs for the construction part. I don't know how many jobs it will create after that. I think it's going to be obviously significantly less. For some reason, I seem to think it like 60, something like that, but take that with a grain of salt. I'm not 100% sure. But right now, initial investment I think is 1.5 billion, and that, as things go along, it could easily turn into a 12 billion investment by the time everything is said and done. So not bad for Saskatchewan for sure. Rory, even if MSTE cuts its divs, you get paid while you wait. Yeah, absolutely. Chippy, CHPY from YieldMax is a bit of a unicorn. They're holding the underlying nice distribution and up in total return. Okay, interesting. Yeah, interesting. I haven't really looked at Chippy, Leroy, but yeah, that is interesting. Rory, yep, may get Regina working again. Saskatchewan is kicking Regina's butt. There we go. We are closer. If I correct me if I'm wrong, I guess I was mentioning Chad. Chad, I think you're closer to Saskatoon than Regina, but I could be wrong. Let's see here. And I hate telecoms. Can't wait to get out of them. I know you don't like them. And TELUS partnered up with a USA company for satellite cellular service. There we go. There we go. Yeah, it's going to be interesting. You know, I would I would like to see the Canadian telecoms doing a little bit better, but at the same time, I'm kind of torn. I'd also kind of like to see them not milk Canadians as much as they do. So I kind of like both sides. The investor side is like, make money, guys, and the consumer side is like, dear God, please stop all of the fees. And so a lot of the fees are going away, which is good because the CRTC finally did something I agree with. Samantha says, same Chad. I've had Bell and Telus for years on a drip, and I'm afraid I'll never be back in the green. Nope. Let's see, especially after Bell cut the dividend. Yeah, but I will say this. Bell cutting that dividend was a good move for Bell. It really was. It was if it was unsustainable, it was way too big. They needed to do it. If they wanted to turn the corner, they needed to cut that dividend. So Roy said, I almost bought Bell 3 years ago. Thank God I waited. Chad says, I'm closer to Moose Jaw, 40 minutes Regina, 1 hour to Saskatoon. Oh, or 1 hour. Sorry. 40 minutes Regina, 1 hour Saskatoon. So 2.5 hours. Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. So you're closer to the Alberta. I think Moose Jaw. Moose Jaw is pretty close to the Alberta border. If I'm right, I think so. Like I said, most of my experience with Saskatchewan, also Manitoba, has been just driving through it. Straight line. Rory says 3 hours to Edmonton for me. Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. Holy banana bread. And I spent a couple of nights once in Edmonton. So, and I liked Edmonton, although at the time it was spring, so it was really muddy. So that week I was calling it Edmudton because of the mud. Um, but yeah, it was cool. I was in a hotel and I was basically watching a lot of pay-per-view stuff because my company was paying for it. So it's like, hey, and it was funny, like, when I was actually heading out, and this was when I was working with the technology company Uniserve back in Vancouver. Well, they had bought a call center in Edmonton, so I was going there to do some training with them to get them up to speed. And so the director who ran my area, he says like, oh yeah, he says, he says, you'll be in a hotel, they'll have pay to view. I said, oh, don't worry, I won't watch it. And he says, oh no, watch as much as you want. It's on the, just make sure you document it so that way there we can, we can do up the taxes or whatever for it. So I'm like, okay, sure, whatever. But it was cool. It was cool. Now that was a while ago because I know I did go to the West Edmonton Mall. That was my highlight of my trip to Edmonton. And probably the most memorable thing in that is I decided to go see a movie. And I was going up the escalator to the movie theater, and I felt waves of heat hitting me. And I looked up, and there was a friggin' dragon there breathing fire. Now, somebody told me they don't have the dragon anymore, which is too bad because it was actually very cool. It was probably one of the coolest things I've ever seen. But anyway, West Edmonton Mall, definitely worth the visit if you're ever in the Edmonton area. 40 minutes to MJ, 1 hour to Regina, 2.5 hours to Stoon. Tedmonton. I've heard that. I've heard of that. Calgary. Yeah, and I like Calgary. Yep, good old Calgary. Calgary, see, I've always thought Calgary is just one of these really fantastic cities for one reason. For one reason, they are so close to so many good things. I mean, you can be, you can be in Banff in an hour. You can be in Drumheller in an hour. You can be in Vulcan in an hour, or in the prairies. Or you could even go to there's even some ice caves not that far from Calgary. I think it's out near Bragg Creek. But they're really, really cool. So there's so many cool things you can do from Calgary. So I do like Calgary. I like Calgary a lot. Let's see here. Michael says NASDAQ Tiger. Again, Tiger. Michael, you really like this company a lot. So let's see. They reported record revenue and profit for the fourth quarter and full year 2025, citing growth in its funded account base, continued net asset inflows, expanded product. Did they do that today, Michael? Let me take a look. Let me take a look because, sounds like maybe they bucked the red today. Let's see. Here it is right here. Okay, not so much. Not so much. They are down today. So yeah, down 3.121%. Yikes. Chad, wish YouTube would allow a post pictures, have a picture of a guy in a Tesla pulling a trailer with a generator plugged into his car. Oh, that's funny. That's actually funny. Yeah, I'd be open for that. If you guys could actually post pictures and stuff in the chat, that would be kind of cool. What you can do though, Chad, is I don't know if you're on the Discord, but you could always post it over on the Discord. I think a lot of us would get a kick out of that for sure. Except cheer for the Flames. Yeah, I went to one Flames game. One. I think it was only one. And it was because Montreal was in, so I was there. I was there cheering for the Habs, and they did beat the Flames. So what can I say? Oh boy! All right, guys, it is time. 1 hour 33 minutes. Oh, that's fine. We're gonna be back here again tomorrow. We're gonna do this all over again. Let's see what we got tomorrow in the market. I'm hoping that the green second half of this day spills over into tomorrow. Of course, we need to have nothing big happen in the war. Otherwise, yikes. Can post to Facebook. Yeah, absolutely. Do that, Chad. I'll take a look. Because, yeah, we have a Facebook group post group as well, guys. It's just, the links are all down below for that. I will say that with Facebook, we had a problem with a lot of scammers trying to come in and scam you guys. So I do have questions there, but quite literally, the membership questions when you go into the Facebook, it's just basic stuff. And quite literally, I can tell right away whether or not you just don't know what the answers are to the questions I've asked. And trust me, there's no right or wrong answers. Or if you're a scammer. I can tell if you're a scammer. Like, for example, if you start talking about Candace Owens, you're probably a scammer because it's like you don't even know who Facebook you're going into. But yeah, anyway, we will be back again tomorrow. We're going to do this all over again. Let's see what happens. And let's see if by tomorrow I'm number 3 at Blossom in that contest. I don't know, but you never know. I was happy moving up to number 4 for today. So we will be back here tomorrow. We'll do this all over again. And guys, before I go, I do have 2 words I want to say, and that is bye-bye.